In this video, I'm going to show you guys 5 defensive tips that you need in order to play better defense in college football 26. First up is going to be coaching adjustments. In order to go to your coaching adjustments in-game, you want to click that right stick in on your controller. It's going to take you to this screen right here. Now, depending on what defense you want to run, what formations, you can mess with your auto flip. For the most things that I've been liking, especially with the way flipping and baseline is not in the game, I go auto flip off for most of my defenses in college football 26. Cornerback matchups, I do keep it on balance. Sometimes you'll notice in game, this will randomly switch to speed. So I do recommend checking your coaching adjustments throughout the game so that you are not lined up, you're not assigned by speed here, because it just messes up your adjustments on defense. So you always want to be on balance for this one. Defensive motion response, I keep on default. Option read key, I keep this one on aggressive here. I want to focus on the dive. I also did a video completely breaking down my favorite coaching adjustments, so make sure you check that out if you want an in-depth breakdown of what I'm doing here. Option key on conserve. Now you can adjust this though based on, do you want to defend the quarterback? Do you want to defend the running back on the option? Depending on your preference here, these are the ones I go with. Both RPOs, I go conservative. I want to focus on the pass out of the RPO, and I want to focus on the quarterback if he takes off, because I can, with my user, take away the running back on some of the dives and handoffs, is how I feel about it, so I go conservative there. I actually go aggressive conservative on this one here. I focus on the quarterback, and I focus on the pitch, on the pitch key. Then we go down to strip ball, balanced, tackling, balanced. Zone drops, I do adjust throughout the game here. A lot of times I'll go with a double Mabel defense, so I might go 25-5 with my flats, something I'll do throughout the game. But majority of the game, I do keep it on default as well. This is something you can play with. Coaching adjustments are super critical, super important to your ability to play defense in this game. Hooks, I keep at about 5-10 yards. I do that throughout the game most parts. The safety depth here, very important. This is a new feature in college football 26, and it is extremely important here. Safety depth, I usually go with close. If I'm in the red zone, I go tight. I want my safeties kind of lined up closer to the line. And safety whip, I usually go pinch. If it's a situation where they're running a lot of wide formations, sometimes I'll go wide, but for the majority, I keep it on pinch. And sometimes with safety depth, if they're in like, a Hail Mary situation, I will put this on prevent or deep. But for the most part, I keep it on close. And the midpoint, I usually keep on default. Coaching adjustments are very important. I just want to show you guys real quick, like in-game here, what it looks like. I'll just come out in a random play here, and you'll see here my safeties will be, let's just come out in any play. My safeties will be lined up a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. As you can see here, Wheatley and Harris, they're lined up much closer to the line of scrimmage. They're a little bit pinched inside too, so if it was normal default, they'd be back here. I'll actually show you guys what it looks like on the default so you see the difference. But, if you've been watching competitive Madden or competitive college football the last few years, people come out in like double safety go or double safety blitz, and they'll audible to a different play so that their safeties are closer to the line of scrimmage, closer in the box. Just allows them to play a little bit better coverage, so they're not so far back they can't hit you with like a quick streak or a quick slant over the middle post, things of that nature. So this is what it looks like on default, just so you can see the difference here. Come out in these same plays, and you'll notice they're much further back here. The safeties are dropping back. They're much wider than they were when we had it on pinch and close. They were, they were like down here and pinched in like this. Instead, when you come out in default, they're basically back here. So I'll adjust it. I'll switch it up throughout the game, but the majority of the times I do go with the close and the pinch. Next up, something super critical to help you improve on defense in college football 26 is the ability to use the new D-line stunts in this game. They are so good. I'm telling you guys, they are amazing, right? So I want to show you guys real quick what it looks like if you just run like a basic, a basic D-line pressure. So I'm just going to come on cover 4 quarters. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to mess with the stunts yet. We're just going to do a basic 4-man rush. It looks like this, right? Pretty basic across the board. Let's go ahead and hike the ball. Sometimes we might get some good block sheds. We get decent block sheds there. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. But watch when we put on some stunts here. So I'm going to come on cover 4 quarters. You want to do a stunt. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it pre-snap, or you can do it in the pre-snap menu in the game, or you can do it here before you call a play. To do it, you want to hold down the play you're going to call. So in this case, I'm going to call cover 4 quarters. I'm going to hold down triangle. Brings up this screen here. Left exit 2-man, left Texas 2-man, left Tom 2-man, left Pirate, left Tempe, right exit, right Tex 2. There's like a million different stunts, right? My favorite ones I've seen are the right Tempe 4-man and the Texas 4-man. I think the Texas 4-man is the best in the game by far, so I call this a majority of the game here. Something I go to a good bit. And you'll see here what it looks like. You see how they're kind of going, these outside guys here, Fisher and White, they are kind of swerving back to the inside, creating almost a loop animation here with this 4-man D-line stunt. A lot of times, you're going to get Fisher or White to come clean through that A-gap. Now, you can also do this here in this play call screen as well. To do that, you want to press left on the D-pad to bring up the D-line adjustments. You're going to press that R1 button there in the bottom right. Obviously, if you're on Xbox, it would be RB. And then you choose the ones you want. You can go to those different pages. There's the Texas 4-man. Click on that R1 button. They have the right Tempe 4-man. But you can go through all the pages and click the ones you like the most. And I just think you get much better pressure in this defense from what I've noticed here. Let's take a look and hike it. And look at that. We get a clean swerve, loop, gay gap, whatever you want to call it there. Zariah Fisher comes clean at the quarterback. So I recommend using these stunts to a high degree here throughout your games. I would also recommend switching him up because I've noticed sometimes if you just keep calling the Texas 4-man, the awareness from the AI on the offensive line, they're going to get used to that, right? So switch it up between the Tempe, the 4-man, and then just doing a regular rush. You can throw a contained defense out there, switch it up, but utilize those D-line stunts. Quick time out in the action and let you know that if you're struggling in Madden 26 or College Football 26, well, you've come to the right place. I've been a pro player for over 10 years and have career winnings of over $100,000. Traveling all over the country, playing and commentating some of the biggest tournaments in Madden history. And now I'm sharing all my secrets. So if you guys want to take your game to the next level, make sure you check out the link in the description below or go to payhip.com/tdavisbrand. I have a bunch of ebooks available for sale for both Madden and college football, as well as coaching sessions, film study reviews. You can even request your own ebook. So make sure you check out that link in the description below or go to payhip.com/tdavisbrand and take your game to the next level today. All right, next up is a quick one, but it's a really, really important one here, is the ability to utilize your packages on defense, right? So for example, I believe it's this one here. If you come out in 3-3-5 stack, which is a nice formation in this game, I really do enjoy it. We're just going to come out in like a random play here. We're going to come out in a cover 3 drop. And for some reason in the game, if you want to adjust like a normal safety into like a deep half here, say you want to put Ross in a deep half and you press up and you want to go up on the left stick to put him in a deep half, like it's not there. You have to go to the right on the right stick. It's like not something that you usually are, right? You usually do. Like when you usually put this guy in adjustment, it's like up on the D-pad or up on the left stick here to put him in a deep half. And it's not there. You have to do it on the right stick, right? So the adjustments are a little bit wonky here, that they're not usually like that when you're in some specific defensive formations in the game. So we don't want that, right? So I'm going to call timeout here. And what you need to do to change this to get the normal defensive adjustments is go back here and go to the packages on the 3-3 stack, go to the left a few times, and you want to get to that slot cornerback package. This is critical to get the right adjustments in some of these formations. So now, when I take Ross here, he's a receiver lined up, but now I can go up on the left stick here to put him in a deep half. All right, so it initially was, had to go to the right on the stick, which was so bizarre. If I can get over to him, I had to go to the right on the right stick to do the deep half. Well, now we can go up on that left stick to put him in that deep half. So it's unusual, but you do want to do that slot cornerback package so you get some of the right adjustments. Now, I will say this isn't for every formation, so you just want to be aware of some of the formations in the game. Like I know, like 3-3-5 penny, which is one of my favorite. You have to do it, but sometimes like in nickel over here, you don't need to. It's already set up for you. The adjustments will be correct. So just make sure you're cognizant and aware of these certain packages, and make sure you always have that slot cornerback package if needed, because your adjustments will get messed up. Next up on the list is utilizing the deep halves from your safeties in this game. I've noticed from playing a bunch of games that deep halves are the best coverage adjustments in the game, right? So, for example, cover 4 quarters, you're going to get these kind of inside thirds, whether you're playing match or not. And when you play like Tampa 2 or you play cover 2 man, you're going to get these deep halves. And I've noticed they are much, much better at defending everything, right? So a lot of times when you run, Tampa 2 here, let's come out into Tampa 2. We'll set up something where like, we have a streak and, maybe a fade on the outside or something like this. I'll try to set it up where, we got a flag. That's not ideal. But a lot of times, versus cover 2, you get like a streak and a wheel, or you get a streak and a slot fade to the outside, right? And that can really beat cover 2. If I can find like a trips, let's go to like a trip set here. Let's go with just verts. We'll come out in a Tampa 2. Let's see. And, sometimes like something like this usually beats cover 2, right? Easy setup. But what I've noticed is these deep halves up top here, this will actually play the outside fade. It'll play the inside streak really, really well. Of course, this guy could, cover a circle here over the middle. But these outside guys, the fade and the slot receiver there on that inverted streak, like this safety, he'll play it really, really well. So let's just watch. So I want to drop these guys off so I can get a little time here. But just watch Harris back there, that deep safety. He's going to play both of these really, really well. The triangle route was a little bit more inverted than we would have liked there. Let me just throw something so I can do this again here. Like, let me do a regular verticals where it's a little bit more of a basic streak. Yeah, here we go. The regular verticals. And we'll come out in the Tampa 2. So it looks like this. And this deep half here, you're going to want to see it. And you're going to see when we hike this. Actually, let me give myself a little bit of time. Put these spies out there so we don't get sacked. So you can watch our safety here. He's going to play triangle and square. Like, I can't really throw to either of them. I could probably throw to triangle, I guess. But you can click on and get there really, really quickly with your safety. So the deep halves play extremely, extremely well in this. And in man coverage, they're really, really effective too in these deep halves. Now you can switch it up, of course. You go with the cover 4 inside quarters as well. But I've noticed that the deep halves are just extremely effective and something you definitely want to add out there. Even if you come out in like a cover 3 cloud, you come out in cover 4, put one of those safeties in the deep half. They're going to play really, really well, especially to the outsides. All right, finally, and maybe the most important thing is the ability to use the switch stick feature. This is so important on getting stops defensively in this game, right? You have to be able to get familiar, get comfortable, and get better with using that switch stick ability. Let's come out in a couple plays here. I like to come out in like a basic cover 4. I really think it's effective here. I also like to use the cover 2 shell. I think it is extremely important to utilize the shell features in this game as well. That's another little defensive tip that probably could win in this, even though we're just doing the top 5. Now, it's hard to switch stick here when I'm using 2 controllers, but when you switch sticking, I like to kind of try to bait the offense, right? So I usually start low to high here. I'll start with the linebacker over the middle, and then I kind of want to look at my defense and see where the weakness is, right? So if I'm in a cover 4, I know I'm a little bit weak over the middle, right? So something like a quick seam streak over the middle to the left or the right. So I might want to, and I'll show you guys in a second. It's hard with 2 controllers, but I'll do the best I can. But if I start here, I might want to immediately switch stick over here to this safety, right? Try to guard a quick seam streak. Or if they're, if I feel like they're vulnerable to a corner route, if I'm running like a Tampa 2, a cover 2, I might want to switch to the outside corner real quick. But you always want to keep switching around. You don't want to switch around too much while you're practicing, but once you get it down a little bit, then you can switch around. Now, I recommend, for example, I'm running cover 4. I say, okay, I'm vulnerable here. So when this play starts, maybe I switch there real quickly to guard the streak. But then I immediately want to switch back to my linebacker because I kind of want to still be here roaming that middle because I feel comfortable with how my defense is aligned where I can pretty much guard the sidelines, with these hard flats and these deep quarters here, the deep zones to the outside. I feel pretty comfortable with that. So I usually want to come back to my linebacker and lurk over the middle because that's where I feel most comfortable that I can make a play. Right, and I'm okay with them, throwing over the middle, right? I don't want to give up any big plays, first of all. So I don't want to switch stick and be too aggressive where I jump down completely and they get something over the top. I just want to switch to them and kind of still trot back a little bit, but be aware of a seam streak quickly over here. And you just want to kind of read the offense and see where they might be going. You want to get a feel for what they're doing throughout the game, see what route combos they like, and then you can kind of make some plays and switch to them and try to bait them into a pick, right? So, for example, let's go ahead and hike it. And, initially, like, I'd switch right here, right? Then I come back to my linebacker. Then I'd guard that hook curl over the middle right there. And you see by the time that happens, you're getting a nice little pass rush. And if you're using those D-line stunts, you get some good pressure on the quarterback. So that's kind of how I look at it here. Let's take a look at the replay. I start here with the linebacker. I usually always start with the linebacker to lurk with over the middle, right? Then I immediately switched on to the safety in case they hit me with a seam streak. They did have the corner out there, so I can maybe jump back over to this guy now, switching over here with that stick, flicking it to the left, getting into the outside corner. But everything's pretty much covered. And like I said, I do want to come back to my linebacker just in case I want to guard something over the middle. And as you can see here, we were fortunate because they did have a little quick hatback curl, little hook route there, and we're able to sit on that with our user. And by the time we get there, we get a sack on the quarterback. So that's kind of the science behind the switch stick, is kind of see your defense and understand where they like to go to quickly a lot as well, and go to that and then jump back onto your user, right? So switch stick to it and then come back to your user, and then you can even switch stick again from there depending on what they're doing, how much time they have in the pocket. So those are the 5 defensive tips to help you guys improve at college football 26. I hope this helps you take your game to the next level. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Hit this video with a like. We have so many more tips and contents, things coming for both college and Madden 26. Appreciate you guys, man. Until next time, peace. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and give this video a like. I appreciate it so much, as well as subscribe to the channel here on YouTube so you can check out all the videos that I have to offer.